Welcome everybody to yet another episode of GOQii's Health Stories. And my guest today is very special. Special because I had first met him almost in 2015 or 16. This is way in the very early days of GOQii, in one of the conferences where I was speaking about how GOQii is going to be disrupting the world of healthcare, how we are going to make millions of people fit and healthy. Uh, our player this time not only was part of that event, but he took that really seriously. So when he did have uh, a need to take his health in his own control, he opted for GOQii. And rest is history, as we say. He has seen some tremendous improvement in his HbA1c levels, in his blood pressure, and his overall well being. So, without further ado, let me welcome our player and guest, Devesh Srivastava, to the show. Welcome, Devesh.
Thank you. Thank you, Vishal. It's been a pleasure to come on your show.
So, like I started the introduction, right, that you were part of a conference. And, a lot of people say many things in conferences, right? So, what made you believe what I said to the extent that you wanted to go and try GOQii? Tell us about that story.
Yeah, certainly. So, in fact, when you were part of the conference, it was a kind of a business idea, the seed of a business idea, how person begins, and especially the kind of you see the technology, how it can change the life, and this is also one of the fantastic business idea. And over a period of time, we saw that many of the general insurance and life insurance companies adopting to the health measures and of course giving rebate in the premium and other things. So slowly it started building and the kind of today's lifestyle, which really, especially in the private culture, you see, you need to be fitter in order to survive for longer. So normally people say that post 50, of course, you may not be that fit to really carry the private responsibility of a private job. For that matter, the kind of ask is definitely much more and you have to be much better. So this idea struck to me long back. So I used to really walk and try controlling my blood sugar and a couple of other parameters. But nevertheless, it wasn't getting through because the discipline wasn't there. So I was looking for certain apps, and GOQii was always at the back of the mind. So because since there was an association, I happened to see a lot of fake newspaper, advertisement also with film stars and a couple of others. But the connect was always Vishal coming to that event. So I thought, why not to take it up and then start trying at least once and give my level best,
So,
which
Devesh,
I
tell
did.
us what happened, because I think in your case, the bigger realization came during the COVID period, when you were suddenly faced with lockdowns and certain health issues. So tell us what happened during that time.
Yeah, especially this was really a very good period at that point in time when sometimes there was big restrictions in the early stage of COVID, but over a period of time, let's say in the last year, post this second wave, it got slowly started sinking in that of course the second wave has gone and there are a lot many other the wave is going to really come down. So of course, people were allowed to go out and but were allowed to work from home. So that gave you a lot of space at that point in time in order to plan your day. So in that case, if you follow a discipline, which I did in the morning walk, and after that, what need to be the only thing which is very important is kind of a regimen you follow. If you just walk, you do some exercises, if they are not good enough. What you actually eat, there has to be a right balance and mix, and the quantity, both are very, very important. So I say the discipline and the hard work and your coach. This is also very important. Unless the coach
But
is telling you,
I was trying to understand what happened in 2020, and because you joined GOQii only in end of 2021. So
correct.
what happened to your health? Why was the sudden turn in that? Because you saw some very different health levels. You were under various medications.
Yeah, correct. So I had already fallen sick in COVID, especially in the second wave myself. So that gave me a complete idea exactly, unless you really take care of yourself physically, it is not going to. You're the breadwinner of the family. You have to be very, very careful about, running your life. You just cannot eat anything and everything. You have to have a balanced meal and, of course, make yourself fit and fine in order to at least survive in this corporate world till the time your age permit and you are fitter. And you know that people start a second in it. So in their life, and the life longevity has gone up. So if you take care of this, and I would say the trigger point was the falling sick in COVID, and of course finding a couple of people dying because of this, because of their immunity per se. So it is also kind of an exercise to increase your immunity at that point in time. And of course, you know, swallowing a lot many pills and all that would really not work until and unless physically you are fit from inside and you have a balanced kind of diet as well as regular exercise. That's a way out, and have a peace of mind as well. Mentally, you are sound enough to at least tackle any such kind of issue. Because this pandemic has taught us that unless you are, physically fit from inside, you may not be able to take on anything. Many people in the family, distant family, died also. So you had a kind of a real trigger point at that point to at least join such kind of a app and look forward to improve your lifestyle. And
You have been a banker all your life, right? And you always looked at risk as being your business. So didn't you find it risky to say, Arey, I'm rather than going and eating some medicine and relying on somebody physical or somebody to going to a platform where you're talking to a coach who's remote and you don't even know what to expect. So didn't you see that as a risk in some sense?
so the biggest risk mitigation was during this COVID, doctors were allowed to write prescription online. Where otherwise, people were not allowed by their profession that you consult anybody online. So this itself is a testimony that anything which is good, you test it out and find that online, everything became online, and especially the kids' education, people were, and of course, very afraid of going and mixing up together. So, and it's not that only GOQii is a platform, there are a couple of others also which keep, they are already there on Instagram and Facebook and all, that you find those advertisements popping up that your, blood glucose is going to really go down. You become non-diabetic, you join this app and do that app. So I said, okay, once I have GOQii in mind, let me at least try this out and then figure it out how it really helps me. So that's how.
How was what was the reaction of your family? कि यार ये मतलब क्या हो गया इनको, मतलब normally, I mean, this is something which I'm sure a lot of people around you must be skeptical about.
Absolutely. The immediate family was very skeptical about wearing the watch during the night also. Otherwise, you open the watch moment you are home. So you don't want to have any kind of gadgets around you. So, but taking the watch, sleeping along with it, and of course, getting your everything recorded, eating in a kind of a right proportion. So people were really, very, skeptical about how things are going to be. And he's become very health conscious. Let him be how things are going to shape up. So they saw things changing. And of course, this really made them feel surprised about the whole thing. And of course, they supported me in terms of managing and maintaining the discipline, which is very important.
And tell me, Devesh, given your background, when it comes to business models, a lot of times, the whole idea of GOQii is we did not want to build a conflict of interest. GOQii's interest is completely aligned with you reaching your health goal. We don't make money from selling you medicine or giving you some pill or surgery or talking to doctor. Like GOQii Doctor Consult is already inbuilt to your plan. So did you notice this whole aspect of business model playing in?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question, because normally what I've found is some people start building platform and then they keep having lot many such introduction, especially selling lot many other things. So that there is a dilution in terms of the overall program and the focus which you really want to. And if you really do not dilute, which you ideally did, and the complete focus is about the end product, which is about your health goals. So if you are having the happy customer, they would definitely spread your word across the board. And of course, you have a lot many more people joining, and of course, you're benefiting from this. So the business idea in terms of not diluting the platform has been really, really good. And I definitely appreciate about this and look forward that such kind of a continuous focus and program. And your you develop competitiveness amongst people who are already there on the app in terms of a lot of challenges which has been thrown on a monthly basis. So people participate and they are looking forward to showcase their health, upliftment, and of course getting applauded by the rest of the guys, and they feel really inspired. So that's the whole purpose of the business. More you really it goes out to people from a person who really benefited from the overall activity which you do is the real purpose, rather than just creating a kind of a platform and then look forward having some of the people around it and then start selling a couple of other products too.
Correct. Also, I noticed that you have been very regular with your, God bless you, you've been very regular with your sleep tracking. You've been tracking your activities using GOQii. You've been tracking your steps. There is this belief, and we have a lot of people continuously complaining about accuracy. What is your view around data? And now that you've seen so much data of GOQii across a period of time, what is your view around health data which we are able to generate?
So with respect to health data, I found that there was some trouble in terms of the sleep pattern recorded. But over a period of time, I realized that it is more or less close to whatever it is, reflecting. But the short naps are not being, taken care unless it is a full night. You are having a sound sleep, and then in case you are sleeping, let's say in the night, you have such a journey, and that you have to get only an hour's sleep. It may not record. So such kind of issues are there. But nevertheless, unless you have a proper sleep in the night, it will not reflect the right picture. So that is the purpose. The whole purpose is that you should have a 6 to 7 hours sleep in order to keep yourself going the whole day. So otherwise, I found the data to be right. Even for the measuring your weight and other aspects also, this seems to be almost correct. So I don't see any
part, right? I keep telling people that, listen, GOQii's job is, you're not an Olympic athlete that we have to measure your run and everything by the second. The idea is you should know the direction. So if you are sleeping every day for 6 hours, and if that's the data showing, if tomorrow it becomes 7 hours, it means you have improved. So you first establish a baseline, and then you improve the baseline, just like how you do in investments, right? You first understand what is your current return, and then you get a higher return, right? If you don't know what's your current return, you can't measure what is the benefit you have got by doing something differently. So that is our whole goal.
You need to make course correction and start moving in the right direction.
So, since you talked about course correction, and your current job is with a wealth management part of a large Indian bank, where you are constantly advising people on how to manage their wealth, I thought this is the right time to introduce somebody who has been responsible to do your health management. So just like you have been, now you're going to be the wealth manager for people. We are now very happy to get on the call, on this call and video, your coach, Sakshi Agarwal. Sakshi, please join us. So Sakshi, sorry, I'm saying Sakshi, please join us.
Good evening, Vishal sir. Good evening, Devesh sir.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. How are you? How are you, sir?
Absolutely good.
Good to see you, Sakshi. You
same here, sir.
have your player Devesh over here.
Yeah, yes, sir.
We've been seeing his data and his performance. What he has done is truly outstanding. Could you tell us the secret? Why is he so calm? Like everybody else is like, always, कि मेरा weight कम नहीं हो रहा है, मेरा ये कम नहीं हो रहा है. People are always having some of the other challenge, but Devesh is sitting here calm like a Buddhist monk. So what is the
Yes,
story behind it?
because the secret behind is Devesh sir is very dedicated person. Whatever I told, he always accept the challenge. उन्होंने कभी नहीं बोला कि नहीं मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा, नहीं ये वाला टास्क थोड़ा मुश्किल है, हमेशा okay I'll do it. And after some days, I am seeing like each and everything is on a perfect track. Whether he is traveling, whether he is at home or outside, he follow each and everything. His diet, his workout. कभी मुझे कहने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ा देवेश सर आप ऑफ ट्रैक हैं, ऐसा क्यों हुआ, सर ऐसा क्यों हुआ, कभी भी सर को मुझे बोलने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ता ज्यादा. तो हमेशा सर ने जितना बोला है हर चीज को फॉलो किया है, प्रॉपर फॉलो किया है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन बिहाइंड हिज this journey, behind his transformation, because he lost around 7 kgs of weight. He reduces triglyceride levels, his HbA1c levels. Everything is because of his hard efforts and dedication.
So यार साक्षी, what you're telling me is कि इतने आपने बोला और इन्होंने सब कुछ A to Z फॉलो कर दिया, इतना easy. Devesh, tell us the real story. असली में हो क्या रहा है? मतलब this is like, you know, a dream come true, right? That a coach tells and the player follows and everything is going fine. Didn't you have any tough days? Didn't you have challenges?
Of course, I had a couple of challenges. In fact, waking up early in the morning, and sometimes you have a late night sleep also. So, of course, that need to be balanced. So it is always, it cannot be as straight as the index of the market. You cannot have the kind of a straight line. So you have to have ups and downs of the, but the only focus area is that your goal and dedication has to be right. So even if I'm eating out, let's say, so the focus area is that you should eat healthy food. Healthy means that whatever, the carbohydrate and the protein and all has to be much more. So I give full credit to the coach, to Sakshi, because she followed up and gave the right focus in terms of, right mix and balances. So she was insistent upon that you eat early in the night, because more late you do, it'll not be, metabolism that goes down, and ultimately it'll affect on your body and the weight will have its own implication. So the whole idea is that if you're really looking for a course correction, you have to follow the advice in the right spirit. You should not really fight against it, because you are for it. You are looking for a goal to get yourself sorted and to be more active. I believe at the age of 35, 40, I used to get tired so early. My wife used to crib a lot about it. Yeah, you work so hard and then you get tired. So, these days I'm much more energetic throughout the day with this kind of a balance, meal at the same time, balanced level of activities that helps me across, going ahead well.
So on that topic, we want to share some very interesting data points with everybody out here to see that what your wife is telling is actually true to a large extent. What we are now going to see is your entire lifestyle portfolio, which we've been tracking on the GOQii app. And we can see that now, as per GOQii, you are officially 1 year, 2 months, and 12 days younger than your age. So actually, what you are saying is absolutely true. Your GOQii age is much lower than your biological age, and I am sure everybody around you can see that. You've been a GOQii elite member, which is the topmost layer of GOQii, for not 1 or 2, but 171 days, which is truly remarkable. Also, we are happy to see that you've been following pretty much all the major activities, whether it is meditation, whether it is fitness, whether it is nutrition, and your sleep. And you are very aware, almost 81% aware of your overall health benefits. Your health score has tremendously improved. We can see that. Similarly, your BMI is on track. Your walking distance, your activity time seems to be really doing well. And what I can also see is that you've been very consistent with your sleep, and your sleep score also is either in the excellent and fair, which also is very good track. Actually, what I was also surprised with your resting heart rate. Your resting heart rate is in the 50s, which by the way is very, very healthy, right? If you are in the 50s, that is almost athletic level heart rate, as well as your duration, quality, all parameters are looking so amazing. And we can see that your average sleep time to waking up time, you wake up quite early in the morning for sure. I know Sakshi must have pushed you, has been really good. Also, we are seeing that you're very consistent with your food logs and eating a very, very healthy diet, and we'll talk about that. But overall, I mean, these are stellar numbers, right? I mean, if you were a cricketer, I would call you the Sachin Tendulkar of hockey, right? All these data points are truly phenomenal. So Sakshi, tell us कि यार ये कैसे हो रहा है? मुझे अब तक I have not seen such perfect data.
One more secret I want to tell you. Devesh sir is living alone earlier, and he was cooking all the food all by himself. Each and everything, every variation was cooked by him only. So that is the another point कि उनको कुछ भी कभी उन्होंने नहीं बोला कि मैंने डिनर में या खिचड़ी बना लेता हूँ, मैं बाहर से मंगा लेता हूँ, नहीं. Proper food जो होना चाहिए, whether it is green vegetables, pulses, salads, each and everything is included in his meal, and that is by himself. That is another a big point in his meal logs that I really appreciate.
Amazing. No, I mean that, like I said, right? This is the most perfect food log
Right.
which I'm seeing. So again, I'm really surprised, David. You have to tell us कि इसका secret क्या है? मतलब मुझे अभी भी समझ नहीं आ रहा है that what has really motivated you to really follow this to the T, as they say.
Secret is always, my wife is of same age, so she used to always tell me that you look very older. All the time. So about you look very older, then okay, I look like much younger than you, bet it. Anyway, jokes apart. So at least you follow discipline, and which was needed, and that's how it is. So since I was away for quite some time from family because of the travel, because of the postings outside Bombay, kept the children out for studies in Bombay, so she was there to take care, and I was coming and going quite often. So that way, maybe from the health benefit, I would say earlier anybody would not cook, he'll order, but soon I realized that he developed diabetes because of this, or hypertension also. So then I decided to start cooking by myself. So I was cooking a bit, helping wife earlier, but nevertheless started doing the full meal, the one what we eat, and of course a salad and the curd and a couple of other items were also added in bits and pieces. So then we started taking it up, and then it was moving on and on. And now once I said there is somebody to push me a little harder, like Sakshi, so why not to follow it? Because I always, all these flax seeds and all I was taking, but intermittently. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it has such a cascading impact, and you know the benefits. And somebody telling and pushing you, you must have it and include it, you see the difference, and it happened. So ultimately, my doctor also got surprised. Here, I'm asking him to reduce the medicine because of the kind of these reports. So he said, where are you going to take your HB1C? So I said, okay, first I want to be non-diabetic altogether. So
no, I think
continue on this.
Since you talked about diabetes, I want to also now invite Dr. Akshat Chadda, who's the GOQii lifestyle doctor, and his in fact focus is diabetes care. And again, your data has been phenomenal, and your entire case history is very unique. So welcome to the show, Dr. Akshat. Tell us, ye kya, matlab, with Devesh, it looks like the perfect story, right?
Too good to be true story, right? No, but I mean, see, that's the whole thing, right? It is no longer too good to be true. We are seeing these changes happening. But like, Sakshi also said, and the way Mr. Devesh is saying, it is at the end of the day, the push, which eventually gets converted into discipline. If you get the discipline and you're able to do it again and again and again. So right now with our HB1C of 5.8, probably the next 6 months, 3 months, hard to say, but probably below 5.7, and he'll enter into the non-diabetic category.
So Devesh, tell us that did you interact with the GOQii doctors also? As you know, we have an entire doctor system also built into our ecosystem.
So not yet on any occasion, because so far I was able to manage the medication. I was taking care from one of the doctors in Ahmedabad. So he was a endocrinologist also. So I was quite satisfied with the kind of medication he was giving me, and of course maintaining the regime. So as Dr. Akshay said that the focus area is exactly on the kind of uh, the dedication you follow, and which I wanted to, because ultimately wanted to prove to myself also that all this can work. And I was remembering kind of couple of forwards you receive in your WhatsApp, that people, some of the doctor telling that you have the fruit and fruit platters throughout the day, and ultimately your number are going to come down. So it may not be the case that you keep eating fruits and fruits in the morning and in the afternoon and everywhere across. So it has got an impact, but you need to have a balanced meal in order to survive, and of course have all the consequences. So that is very important. And of course, Sakshi has already guided well with respect to making the meal as a balanced meal all across. And one is the consciousness. Food consciousness is very, very important. So I eat potato altogether, sometimes once a while. But otherwise, you know that in North Indian dish, potato becomes a very, very integral part of every kind of vegetable. So even in my wife also is slightly diabetic. So in case we don't have potato or maybe rice off and on. And of course, we take water out, the starch out of it. So a couple of precautions you take care as it is, but kind of a right approach and the focus would help you at least avoid such kind of circumstances when your blood sugar level goes up. And it is not the case. As people say, you leave sugar, you leave everything. So I stopped refined sugar to a large extent, but of course you can have other options too. But you cannot avoid some of the teas outside where you have the sugar already there. But you can do in a small quantity.
In moderate.
Devesh, while you always see Sakshi as the front coach in front of you, there is a lot happening behind the scenes at GOQii. And Sakshi works very closely with an expert coach who's also supervising her and guiding you from the back end. Maybe she has interacted with you sometimes, but now let me welcome Prachi More, expert coach, to the show. Prachi has been with GOQii for several years and has coached thousands of people under her. Welcome to the show, Prachi.
Thank you so much, Vishal, and good evening to everyone. So regarding Deveshi, I would say it was a very simple case for Sakshi, I would say. The way he started his health journey, he was so determined. Like on the first call itself, when the coach Sakshi asked him, "What is your health goal?" he was totally clear that I want to lose 7 kg weight. I want to reverse my diabetes. So there was no two say in that. And whatever changes he suggested, he adapted it very quickly. That is something which is very characteristic, I would say, because you know how difficult it is for us to convince others to have healthy food or make healthy choices. So that's something he has cracked. So maybe he has learned that art of eating food, how to balance, how to manage food, and that is something which is helping him reversing his diabetes.
And I must say, Devesh, looking at your dedication and your discipline, I can only imagine that you are a super performer in your organization, and no wonder they keep giving you promotions and keep getting you from places to places, because we have seen your performance already, which has been truly stellar.
So yeah, once upon a time, Karan Datta wrote in my annual appraisal letter that you are my Rahul Dravid. So a kind of consistent player all across. So it has been a case. So all across, at the work also, and of course in your life as well.
So tell me, what is the reaction of your friends and family members now that they see you with the new younger version of you? Pehle to they used to say you look older. Now they are giving you all these compliments. So what is the reaction, and what do you tell them is the secret behind it?
So of course, yes, people you meet maybe after a couple of months, a year or so, they really feel zapped with the whole thing. Arey, how come you reduce so much? I said, okay. And I have seen some of the people in banking also, those who are really plumb, and then they have gone down. So ultimately, it's about the dedication they brought. They are without popping up any pill for weight reduction or something. It is about their own lifestyle and the balance in life which has really made them. And with respect to family, of course, my daughter was really awe with the kind of dedication. I was going out every morning, doing many squats at home, and looking for preparing food also for her as well before leaving for office when she was there in Ahmedabad with me studying. So likewise, in fact, they all supported in their own way with respect to encouraging me to follow the journey. So that's been really remarkable. And of course,
other parts of GOQii, like the GOQii Store or GOQii Arena or GOQii Play, GOQii Pro, we have so many other features and services within the GOQii app. How has your experience being with the
yeah,
other parts?
experience is really good because especially GOQii Store, the kind of stuff you keep. So I ordered many of them. So they are very healthy foods, and especially for all those snacks and a couple of other stuff, which I keep ordering once a while. So they've been liked by family also in a big way because they're also a organizer of good quality, high health conscious food as well. So ultimately, that's been a good experience. Arena is also a good place where you really try showcase about your own health goals and benefits, what we have achieved so far, and look forward for other people also how they are tracking and benefiting out of it. So similarly, the other apps which are there. So I feel really, and of course, I keep using these apps too. So it helps me at least understanding the whole company better. At the same time, other proposition which you keep adding time and again.
Got it. So, Dr. Akshat, diabetes is such a huge challenge in India. We have seen India being the diabetes capital of the world. Why are more people not adopting what Devesh has done and just going after, fads? As you know, the latest fad everybody wants to do is connect CGM, which may or may not be effective. So, what is your take on this?
So one is people like convenience. I think easy is what is the biggest fad is easy. I think more than anything, it's just if something can happen with a click of a button, then so be it. So I think convenience and comfort is something that we go for. And I think Mr. Devesh will agree, the coaches will agree that when we talk about making a lifestyle change, there is an effort which is required. To make any change, you have to come out of that comfort zone because you've lived in a certain pattern, right? That is your routine. And you have to change something in that routine, which is uncomfortable. So people just refuse to do it. They don't find the time to do it, or they don't find the right mindset to do it. So instead, when they talk about remove all carbohydrates, let's go for a keto diet and all, which they think will do for 3 months and then they'll get the numbers down. The numbers might come down, the weight might come down. But the minute they go back to square one, where they started, all the numbers come back up, all the weight comes back up, and this time with vengeance. So I think the biggest problem is that people refuse to get out of that comfort zone because they're so comfortable to begin with. And that's the biggest issue. So if someone can crack why Mr. Devesh was so disciplined and how he managed to be so disciplined and sustained, how he understood what to eat, why to exercise, then problem is solved.
So Sakshi, tell us what changes did you exactly make? Because he seems to also be having a very, his schedule and his food habits. Did you have to make a lot of changes for him?
Not a lot of changes. The main problem is his dinner timings and dinner portion. Because his dinner time was after 9:30 earlier, and his dinner portion is quite high, like 3 chapatis with some rice also. So initially I told him to reduce carbs from the dinner, like he can cut down 1 chapati by replacing with 2 balls of dal and some fiber like boiled vegetables like that, and try to keep dinner by before 9 or around 9. So he did both the changes. So he started cutting down 1 chapatis to either 2 chapatis or 1.5 chapati with rice, and he's having dinner by 9, sharp by 9 or between quarter to 9. So that is the biggest change that he made earlier. After that, I told him to do some post-meal walk. That really helped him to bring it down as FBS levels. That works well. After that, I suggested few simple things like flax seeds powder in his meal to improve his fiber intake, And evening snack was also missing in his diet. That is also missing. He's not able to take evening snacks on time, but he tried to take some dry fruits by the time. But he's keeping portion control and dinner. That is the main thing that he's following like on regular basis.
So you're
And
saying खाली dinner को change कर दिया और बाकी सब कुछ ठीक हो गया है?
no. Actually, he was very regular with his walk earlier. So I told him to do some exercises also, like some Surya Namaskar, some simple cardio exercises. So increase exercise levels also. That helped him to reduce his body fat. So he lost 2 inches from his belly and he lost 7 kgs of weight within 3-4 months. So
Oh
that is,
wow.
yeah. So
So
that is
David, do
another
you
change.
believe that इतना छोटा change करने से इतना effect हो गया? But this is like sounds very unbelievable, right?
No, it happened because there was a complete consciousness to reduce. And one of the very important things, when I saw that tracker that your age is, I mean, your GOQii age is reducing, it was again a kicker, of course. And you
So your
feel,
GOQii age was higher than your age, right? You got it down.
Right.
yeah, of course. So ultimately, it's been really a good surprise, and I look forward to maintain it and take it ahead from here. So
Further
as
reduce your GOQii age.
certainly yes.
So Prachi, tell me something. This GOQii age concept which we introduced, is it really working? Do you think people are getting motivated with it?
Yes, of course. Like, many players come up, why my age is showing so up, like, why it is showing wrong. First of all, they say my age is not this is something which your data is showing wrong. Then when we'll tell them the concept that, depending on your data, your activities, we are calculating this age, then they become conscious of it and then they start putting an effort to reduce it and to match it or to maybe reduce it to reduce in their number. So yeah, that is helping us and players.
So Devesh, you are seeing gamification at work, right? We talked about this concept when I presented at the conference. So are you now feeling the gamification?
I think it's very important because these are some of the props you have to really put across for a person to really remain motivated, because you are doing the similar exercises and all those activities daily, but something to keep you motivated. These kind of props are very important. So I'm really thankful for at least using it and at least a kicker for you to keep going.
So Sakshi, where do you want to take his age to now?
I think below 50, he should be around 45, as per me.
So well, Devesh has already a goal set now to further reduce his age. And I think you can. I mean, looking at your data, I don't see why you can't achieve that. So Sakshi, tell us that when while you're saying there were no tough days, but ऐसा कभी तो cheat meal किया होगा, ऐसा तो नहीं कि एक दिन में like it's like perfect. He's not had a single cheat meal all this time.
No, actually, he's traveling a lot because of his family, because of his meetings. So cheat meal, whenever I'm seeing cheat meal, that is only something like vegetable sandwich, that's it, or curd rice. So outside also he's finding the perfect healthy variations. That is also another very can say
Because maybe the
approach.
biggest complaint people make is that, oh, while I travel, I can't eat healthy. I have to eat pizza, I have to eat burgers, I have to eat fried food. How do you resist? Because I'm sure your colleagues must be eating that kind of food.
So see, I don't have that kind of a knack. My children are, they love to, go for pizza party and, always get it at home. But I always relish Indian food, and somehow the taste bud has been developed like that. So don't like maybe for a while, once a while you can have it. Otherwise, you don't consider that to be a right full meal. So it's just kind of a snack. You can have one or two slices of it, but not as a full meal. So you can avoid all those, cheese toppings and a couple of other stuff which are already there, and that's how you develop. So right from the beginning of since our childhood, I mean, we all have been developed like that. We didn't have those kind of pizzas and burger in our age, so you don't have that kind of a sense of eating it quite often.
Also, Devesh, you have improved your sleep time. Now you sleep almost 6.5 to 7 hours every night. You have gone through a stress-free environment, and I saw that meditation seems to be a very important ritual for you. So tell us,
Right.
how did you meditate? how did you bring about, because that is a very difficult thing for a lot of people, but it is the most important thing from a health perspective. So tell us your experience with meditation.
Yeah, certainly, yes. So meditation has always been earlier. I used to do pranayama and a couple of other anulom vilom kind of those were the breathing exercises and which became part and parcel. But nevertheless, meditation is also important to concept to develop and build concentration. So the kind of you have those videos with people around, they really help across in terms of feeling that and the I would say the credit worthiness of such videos is such that if you really do with the right focus, you get into a sleep, and the sleep is recorded. So that is something I feel when you get into a kind of a little trance position and your body becomes so silent as you are sleeping that the watch start recording, the tracker start recording the sleep. So at times I witnessed that my sleep time has gone by 15 minutes up at the end of it. So which shows that you are focused, your mind and your thoughts are really focused in terms of on the activity which you are doing. So whatever way, if a coach is telling about breathing pattern, you try to follow. And of course, if you are listening to some kind of naad or flute or something like that, so you go with the wind. This is how I have to go and feel it, imbibe it, make myself more relaxed. And it happens in the morning only. So morning when I get up, then only after say 10-15 minutes, I go for this meditation. And then after.
And do you use GOQii app? Because we have a lot of meditation content also in the GOQii app.
Exactly. I use that only. That's something like meditation is from the GOQii app itself.
Fantastic.
So that helps me across good time.
Is there any study around meditation and its benefits for overall well-being and health? Because while GOQii is recommending it, I want to know what is the scientific view around that.
Many, lots and lots and lots. If you just Google it also, you will get a lot of research papers on this. It's not, meditation has multiple levels. It's your mind, your body, your soul, your focus, your concentration, just your breath. Even your breath is actually controlled. If you know how to meditate and control your thoughts, even your breath becomes easy to kind of manage. So once your breath is under control, your heart rate is much better regulated. Your heart rate is regulated. Your blood pressure can be regulated. Once your blood pressure is regulated, your stress levels are regulated, your sugars can get regulated. So even if you're not doing lots of changes, but if you concentrate on imbibing meditation in the truest form, not like, just aag band karke baith gaye, the mind keeps wandering. There is a very specific technique for meditation also. So if you can really master that technique, learn that technique, then a lot of positive health changes can happen.
Fantastic. Devesh, your journey has been truly inspirational, but I think the only other person I can really relate to when I'm thinking about your journey is none other than our brand ambassador and advisor, Akshay Kumar. I think he is, the secret to his success has been his discipline, his consistency. And I think to summarize, at least from my side, you are truly an Akshay Kumar when it comes to being healthy. And that's really what we are seeing. So I would love to know, as we wrap up, the views of Sakshi and Prachi also on where we think we can help Devesh when it comes to his goals, and any final words from your side.
So yes, he is at pre-diabetic state now. So I would like to see his HbA1c non-diabetic level. That is something is a short-term goal for me, and of course the goal which is he is having reducing GOQii. So that is our long-term health goal, I believe. With respect to his nature, I would like to talk something. He's so mindful of doing everything in his life. So whether it is his meals, whether it is choosing meal while eating out, emotional health, mental health, exercise, he is giving attention to all the parameters. And that is something which we need to learn from him, because many times so much information is available in the internet, but people lack dedication. They don't adapt that. They don't want to adapt the changes, I believe. So that is something which we can learn from him and practice it.
Fantastic. Sakshi, what are your suggestions?
Yes, I'm also thinking like Mr. Devesh is very dedicated person, so there are lots of things to learn from him. but the main thing is dedication and consistency. That is the key of a good health. So
So what is going to be already इतना perfect है तो इसको और perfect कैसे कर सकते हैं मैं वो पूछ
इसको perfect, like I need to push him because since the 15 days he was little off track because of shifting and all. So to, still I have to keep him motivating to do all the things perfectly, so he can maintain all the things. Already he's maintaining, but still we need a push so he can do all the things in a proper, in a consistent way. That is the.
So Devesh, what are your final words?
Yeah, sure. So I look forward as a word called multitasking. So we are in a corporate word. They don't go with one goal; there are multiple goals simultaneously. As you know, that bank is selling multiple products, and they chase all multiple targets. So, and you have to. Not everybody is so familiar. I would say not everybody is so fast in all kind of products or apt to or adapt to. So you have to really see the capability of each and everybody and push them. So that's a multitasking. And same way here also, we do this multitasking with respect to choosing the food, your lifestyle, your mental health, and also the kind of workouts you do, and keeping a balance in life. That is what the key and success for a healthy person. And I am really benefited with this.
So in fact, one goal which I want to add now in your list, given that you want to become 45, is we organize a GOQii Trail Challenge. It was paused for the COVID pandemic, but we are resuming it in December 2022, where you are given a goal to walk 50 kilometers, only 50 kilometers, in a matter of 14 or 15 hours. So it's in a beautiful trail called Mandangad, about 5 to 6 hours from Mumbai. We organize the whole event. You can start paying for it, and then you complete this event in about 2 days time. And I think the challenge I want to give you is that now you have almost 6 months. So Sakshi and Prachi, your job is to prepare Mr. Devesh for that event. And by that time, if he has to prepare for that challenge, I'm sure he will have to not only reverse his age, but maybe he'll have to soon take admission in a college.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So thanks a lot, everybody. And Devesh, looking forward to seeing you in person now that COVID is over. We'll also definitely love to catch up, and then seeing you for the GOQii Trail Challenge end of the year. Thanks a lot again, and all the best with your GOQii Health journey.
Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.